Hi there, this is Marie and welcome back to my channel. Today is my first book recommendation video and I'm going to start with books who changed my life. As we grow up, the books that we read have a true impact on the human being that we're going to become. These days I'm thinking a lot about what it takes to become who we are today. And so going down memory lane, I thought that I would share with you a few books that had a real impact on me when I was younger. Let's start with this big one. Well, I'm sorry there's no English edition, it's only the French one. It's Le Pacte des Marshmallow de Pierre Bottero. There are 3 books and actually it's part of a bigger world. This series of books is basically what took me back to reading when I was in middle school. Because I've always loved books, but there was a kind of gap between, children books and then middle school. And this took me back. The main character's name is Elena and it's a wonderful woman. I was in love with her. So yeah, if you read French, definitely a must-have. Then we have Fushiki Yugi. It's one of the first manga that I've bought in second-handed shops because I was curious. And I just loved it so much that now I have shelves full of mangas. So yeah, Fushiki Yugi is the story of a teenage girl which opened a book and ended up in another century, in another country, and basically she has to save the world. That's pretty basic, but when I was 15 it was awesome. And even now I think the story is still quite good if you read it now. Then we have 2 books which are not very happy, but you're not going to evolve or change with only joy and happiness, right? So I have these 2 books. You have 1 Liter of Tears and you have If This Is a Man. 1 Liter of Tears is the diary of Aya who's struggling with a severe disease. And there is just so much strength in her words, like when you read her book, you know that all your problems are just nothing compared to what she's been through. And despite her condition, her disability, and the fact that there were no cure, she was still standing so strong and her words deeply touched me back in the days and still now. I don't read it often because it's hard. It's a difficult book to read, but it always puts things back into perspective. So yeah, I'm very admirative of Aya and I wish I was half as strong as she was. The other one, If This Is a Man, is by Primo Levi. It's a testimony from a man who survived the Nazis and being a Jew and being thrown into camps. And well, now we know what happened there, Actually, first time I read it, I was in middle school and it was my French teacher who assigned me this book for a project because she thought I was mature enough to read this kind of stuff. It's pretty tough as well to read, but same, it just brings you back to reality and what matters. It makes you understand things about yourself, about the world, about the kind of person you want to become in the future. So yeah, difficult to read but life-changing. And finally, let's finish on a more joyful touch, I would say. Here's the first book I read from Haruki Murakami. It's a Japanese author and it's called South of the Border, West of the Sun. I think I was in high school when I read this one. I'm still very interested in Japanese culture and I wanted to give it a try and read more Japanese authors. So I've picked this one because, well, it was kind of simple, and I got mesmerized by Haruki Murakami's style. Basically, it was so simple and yet so elegant. It was the first time that I was reading something like that. And I think it influenced a lot my way of writing after that because there was such beauty in his writing that I aspired to become a little bit like him or something, if I could. So yeah, so I've read a lot of books from him since then. And yeah, I don't regret being curious and trying out new kinds of books. This is it for today. I will put complete summaries and more details in the article on my blog. I will also put the links where you can get these books if you're interested. As always, if you like this video, like it, share it, and subscribe if you're new here. I wish you all a lovely week and see you next week. Bye bye!